Hi, my name is Arunima, and I'm an author, educator, TED speaker, and a healer. Yes. So today I wanted to talk about the fact that um, why visiting past life or taking past life regression therapy is not focusing on the past. Yes. You always have your side very clear to you, how you think, what you think, and why do you think like that. But then you encounter people who have opposite views, opposite opinions as yours. So, in the past few days, I kind of talked to people who do not have much faith in past life regression. In fact, some of them have faith and they think that visiting past life is kind of messing up. Okay, you are not focused on the present, that is why you are visiting the past life. This is the thought of some people. In fact, one of my, not one, two, three of my mentors had told me that you should not think about past life regression and stuff like that. And quite opposite to their opinions, when I visited my own past life, because I was already watching it, number of my problems got solved. Then I became a therapist myself, and I started solving other women's problems, right? So why is it not messing up? This is something that needs to be heard with a lot of patience and an openness to, hear the opposite opinion, for the ones who do not believe in past life, or for the ones who do not believe that visiting the past life is of any help. In fact, I've seen spiritual healers saying that, and that's quite immature to say that. I'm sorry, I sound very judgmental, because none of the healing ways can be called inefficient or messy. Why? The entire idea of healing is what? You are healing that is there's something that has caused a wound in the present lifetime. Like, let's say you get a cut, you overlook the cut, blood has been oozing out of it, and there's a huge load of wound that has been created, because of which later you will have to get your hand cut because you did not treat it in the proper time. Okay, so sometimes, not sometimes, in fact most of the times, our problems have, like, all the times, in fact, our problems have a root cause. Why is it happening like this? Like, that COVID had a root cause. Why did it develop into what it became? Now, going back to the death laps of China, or whether you talk about the exotic animals which were partaken by the people there, and irresponsibility set in, because of which it got spread in Wuhan. From Wuhan, more irresponsibility was observed, because of which the entire country suffered, and because internationally we did not maintain those kind of barriers, which we later did, the entire world suffered the problem, right? It became a pandemic. If India, like, let's say at the beginning, when we already knew that China is suffering from this kind of an endemic, if we would have had put those bars and those people would have been tested right when they came from China and stuff like that, India would have been saved, right? But then the world has become a global village, so we did not stop these things at that point of time, because of which it became a pandemic. So the fact is that there is a root cause. Now, the root cause of our problems today are also there back into the past, and many a times into past lifetimes. And for that, you will have to look at the researches that have been done. Now, through my own personal researches, I can watch those things happening, but I would rather prefer to give you some researches which are done by international past life regression therapists, such as Dr. Brian Weiss, Dr. Michael Newton, and people like that. So there was a man, this is one of the Dr. Brian Weiss researches. Okay, so there was a man who used to have a huge lot of pain in his in his shoulders, okay, around his neck area, and nothing worked. The doctors could never find out a reason why. He would apply balm, and many therapies were done, nothing happened. Then, as the last resort, he visited Dr. Brian Weiss, and he found out that 600 years ago he was beheaded as a soldier. Beheaded, yes, his head was cut, and the pain that he faced at that point of time was a pain that had crossed through the multiple bodies he had owned as different identities. The soul remained the same. So there's something like the unconscious, which has all the memories of across lifetimes, that we try to get to through the past life regression, right? We get to that information, and then we heal it. Okay, So when he underwent that healing, that past life regression therapy, he was made to undergo that experience number of times, and after that he was totally free of that pain. There are so many relationship healings that happen. There was a woman who, and this is in one of the books, which is called Only Love Is Real. Okay, the major character, I think her name is Elizabeth. I'm not remembering very well. So she undergoes this therapy, and in the beginning, she is able to find out that the man whom she had taken divorce from in the present lifetime was the man who was also her husband in a previous lifetime, who had killed her. So it was very essential for her to break that connection through the divorce. If she would not have, then the same connection would have been there, like she would have repeated those patterns over lifetimes. Okay, so the fact that you undergo regression, not to go and stay in the past and think, oh my god, I had such a loving relationship with this person, oh my god, this person has created so many problems for me, or oh, I was such a bad person in the previous life. No, you don't go there for that. You just go to see what exactly has caused this present day problem. Okay, and as a therapist, I can tell you that yes, it takes some time to feel sad about it, to feel bad about it, to give some time to it, pause, like hit on the pause button, and then move ahead. Like then you shoot ahead, far ahead. In fact, a lot of twin flame issues are also erupting from there. Why are twin flames not coming into union or reunion? Why are they born at a certain age gap? Why are they born into different communities? Because there has been some things in the past lives which they got to solve in this kind of a scenario, and if they win this win this situation, like they win over through their own actions, if they take those kind of actions, then their future lives is going to be easy, right? Because frankly, it's like an earth school, everyone knows about it, right? You come here to study, like you come here to learn lessons. It's like a game also. Like unless you have solved this level, cannot get to the next level. Like I met someone who said that, no, I want to face my life as it comes, but you have no idea that life as it comes is because of the past, in past what you have done or what has happened to you, which you have not shed or released till now, because of which the same pattern is repeating. Okay, so either you awaken yourself to a limit that you take the right actions at all points of time, but then life is not so straightforward that you understand which actions to take at what point of time. So past life regression is kind of an anchor. It kind of holds you and tells you that this is why this is happening, and if you solve this problem, then you are able to release all those problems, and then you can move ahead in lifetime, right? So let's say, like there was this woman, I keep talking about her every time, and there was this woman who had a lot of problems with her husband. She said he's cheating on me and stuff like that. In the past life, she was a business partner and she had cheated on him, right? This is one of the ready examples I always give, because we think that we are being wronged. A lot of us are living under the tendency that, oh god, life is like jinxed. For me, it's like very unlucky, unfortunate. I'm the person who's suffering and everyone around me is bad. But the fact is that you have not seen the first season. Like let's say you're watching some series, Netflix series, you will definitely start from the first season. You will not start from the second or the third season. Unless you watch the first season of Stranger Things, you cannot move on to the second season, because you will not understand why this character is behaving like this, what exactly had happened in the past, because of which such a thing happened. Like when I teach story writing to my students, I always say, even when I teach it to ladies who are writing their books under me, I always say that you got to keep some information back with you, so that the readers get a sense of curiosity. Okay, why is this happening like that? So why is this happening like that is actually the answer that we are all seeking to get. Like if you think of Bahubali also, Bahubali, the first one was actually about the son, and the second one is about the father. So we did not understand why did Katappa do whatever he did. So we have to go back to find out the answer. That is what is past life regression. People who visit past life regression are not people who are wanting to stay in the past. Yes, I also talked to one divine feminine who gave up on her journey, like so-called gave up on her journey, she said, because she went to see all her past lives with her twin flame and she stayed there. No, I'm not talking about those kind of twin flames. I'm talking about twin flames who want to solve this issue, not just because they want to be in reunion with their masculines. I'm talking about people who want to have a spiritual life and who want to connect back with God and go back to God. Like from where you have come, you want to go back to that source. So you are trying to find out the solutions. That is why you visit past lifetimes. Not because you want to live in the past life thinking that this is the man with whom I was, there for so many lifetimes. No, that is not the reason. Of course, you do see, you do feel, there's no doubt about that. But you ultimately go to find out the reasons why you have a certain kind of fear, or why do you always behave like this, or why do these kind of people always turn up in your life. So what is it that you need to solve inside yourself? If you've ever done inner child healing, because we get to know that a lot of our problems come from our childhood. Okay, so as a child we have like faced a few things, because of which we develop patterns and accordingly behave like that as an adult. So this is a bigger version of inner child healing. It's like, healing through, past lifetimes, to find out the answer. Why is it happening like that? Sometimes the answers are back 2000 years ago. Yes, there are people like Dr. Brian Weiss, and I'm looking forward to we will be being trained by him in a year or so. So they have like taken back their patients to something like 300 BC and something like that, and finding out answers there, that this is the reason. They're highly evolved souls. And by the way, like, when I went for Vipassana, there was this conversation about Gautam Buddha. Okay, so when he got enlightened, he could remember all his past lifetimes. In fact, before I started awakening, it was my past lifetimes that I was visiting. Some pictures, some images would come to me. Like, I'm standing on a road. I can see the road very clearly with my closed eyes. I had no idea which road is that. Then I saw these roads and these places and these houses in my past lives in the regression. So it is already, when you're being awakened to solve your problems, on that path you will have to face your past lives. It's not messing up with the past. It's actually going and clearing the blocks of the past. It is like, if you want a clean house, you got to clean it up, right? If you want absolute cleanliness, you got to get to the muck, that is the dirtiest parts of the house, and then clean it, and only then does it become, it's like that kind of a messy business. But then this messy business is absolutely important if you want to live without mess. Otherwise you're already living in the mess and not understanding any bit of it. So you got to face the mess to live a life without mess. That's it for today. Signing off, Arunima. Thank you so much.